In this video we're going to bring in some information into Dynamics 365 using Excel and the Excel plugin. The important thing to note here is that you have edit in Excel capability throughout the system, but there are some other features that can be used via web services which are even more useful, and we'll show you that when we talk about web services. We're going to just do a general journal. A couple of ways of getting to general journals. You can either type in the search general journal or start typing what you want and get to general journals this way. So we can open general journals and we get to the different types of journals that we have. Or from the sidebar, if we click here and click on finance, again we've got our chart of accounts, bank accounts, payment journals, etc. But general journal. So at the top here we have our default journal. Now within any screen we can actually add and remove particular fields. I've put in a dimension in here, but we can actually add other dimensions or other columns that we want to put in here. You'll notice that when we edit in Excel it will take all of these features that we've ticked on and take them out to an Excel spreadsheet. So in fact, to make things very, very simple, and just about everywhere in the system, you've got this Edit in Excel feature. If we actually click the Edit in Excel feature, it'll obviously ask us to open it. And then we wait for Excel to actually open this particular spreadsheet. Once it's actually opened, we can then use our login credentials to actually publish back data to the system. So it's a very, very easy way of bringing data in and out. Different to the initial implementation where we can upload our GL accounts and our customers and items. That's a direct import feature. But this feature is connected directly to the web services. And as I say, we will talk about that a bit more later. Now the important thing over here on the right hand side is our Microsoft Dynamics add-in. Now that doesn't come standard with Excel. What you actually have to do is go to the store and go and get that. So once you've opened up Excel, go to the store and get the free Microsoft Dynamics add-in. If you click on insert, you've got the store. We can go to the store. I already have the add-in, so obviously I don't need to add it. But within here we actually have lots of nice add-ins to make our life as easy as possible. We can see it here. So because I have this Microsoft Dynamics add-in over here on the right hand side, because I actually exported from my general journal, you can see that it's actually picked up my login details. I can see here that it's actually picked up my URL. If we go back and have a look, my URL here. The important thing when looking in here is that it's always that URL with /ms/web client on the end of it. So as long as you get that part right, it will automatically log in. You can choose your language and choose your company here. I'm going to say OK. We can click on design and we can go and look at the table that we've brought in, and we can see all of the columns that are available and all of the columns that we want to add using this add feature or remove using the remove feature. I've got lots of columns here. I don't need them all. I don't want them all. But more importantly, there are some right at the very end, like line number, that I want to move. So I'm going to move that up. Batch name, I want to move that up. And posting date is great at the top, but I want to keep moving batch name up all the way to the very, very top. I've got so many columns in here, I really do need to change it, but we've got line number and I still want to move that all the way to the very top. But once I've actually done that, I hit update and we can see that we've moved line number and batch name here, and we've got some more information on the screen here that we actually need. So once we've done that, we can say done. It's actually auto refreshed anyway, but we can refresh the data. But more importantly, down here we have our publish button. So we can look at this data and we can change something in here. If we want to change 40, for instance, we can actually update that. If there's already 40, it won't let us update that. But we might have a credit amount. It's a GL account that we're actually hitting. We haven't put a GL account number in particularly. we could put in a GL account number, and if we go back and have a look at here, we didn't put in an account number, but if we want to, we could put 10100 into there. If I actually update this particular journal and we went back to our spreadsheet and did a refresh, it would actually update this anyway. So if we actually do a refresh here, it will say, do you want to carry on, because it'll overwrite that change that I made. And that's, you've got to be very, very careful, because until you publish it, it will overwrite, and you'll notice that it's actually updated. So we go in here and update this to 2040 and now hit the publish. We're now writing that data back. You can see updated one change, and it publishes successful. So we actually make a change to that particular data. And we can now see that we've actually updated the data in here. We can update some amounts. It will automatically work out the VAT amount based upon my particular setup of domestic services. It may be that that's actually not what we want to do, so it might be retail, which should actually be a different VAT code. Or it might be export, and it will actually reduce it down to 0. So we can actually go and create that, and again, if we go back and we hit refresh, it's actually going to refresh that data. We can now see 1240. We can see our values have updated as well. So we've got an amount which is in local currency as well, LCY, and we had a debit amount as well. This whole line is a line that we can actually do the whole transaction and the reversing transaction on one line, because we've got account type GL there, and we've got a GL code, and then we've got the balancing account on here, which happens to be a GL code. It doesn't have to be, but in this particular case it is. So it's a very quick feature on how to upload data. For any more information on importing data and using the web services to import data, we'll show that in another video. Many thanks.